Welcome back. Joining us virtually this afternoon, we have local CPA Robin LeBlanc on the line. Robin, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Good afternoon. Doing great.
So we're continuing our conversation on filing status. So today we're tackling single filing status. So what advice do you have for the viewers at home?
So single filing status tends to be the most simplistic one as well as the least favorable. And it offers the least amount of benefits with tax planning and has the highest income bracket. But don't count it out. If you are single, that doesn't mean you actually cannot claim dependents on your return. It also doesn't mean that you're actually not married. So you can still be legally separated, and if you're not claiming dependents, you are filing as single. So this is something you just need to be very much aware of if you're filing status when it goes to making retirement contributions. What's your limitations for deducting education credits? Because by being single, you're going to have phase out amounts that are lower than if you're in a head of household or married filing joint status. So this is one of those things where if your friend was able to take a bunch of deductions and you're like, oh, we work together, we make the same amount of money, and they're getting all these refunds and stuff back, it may be because you're filing single and they're doing married filing joint with a spouse, which gives way more favorable tax brackets because you were living together. So another thing, if you're single, this is also if you had a spouse that died. So if you had a spouse that died in the prior year, the next year you would file as single. If you had a spouse that died and you still have a child with that spouse, you can actually file qualified widower, which will give you a more favorable filing status than being single, even though with a deceased spouse, you will be considered single 2 years later. So I know it's a whole lot of information, but just when it comes to filing status, that is going to impact a lot of your tax planning. So it's good to know going into it what your filing status is, what your limitations are, so that you can plan and be aware. And with single, you're going to have to withhold a lot of taxes. So check your W-2s and make sure you are withholding properly.
Wonderful. And Robin, so basically check with a local CPA like yourself if they have any questions, because this can be very confusing when it comes to taxes.
Oh yes, and the IRS actually has an interactive tool on their website that can help you figure out your filing status as well. But we're also here to help.
Wonderful. Well, Robin, thank you so much for joining us virtually this afternoon.
Thank you.